No way. That gutted me. Been there, Tamika. That image alone makes me want to close my laptop and breathe.
Mm-hmm. And there's a difference between busy and built. If that story had a lesson, it's that our default systems, if left unchecked, run us instead of the other way around.
Exactly. So instead of another productivity checklist, we want something soulful and practical. Imagine a personal operating system that helps you decide faster, protect energy, and delegate without guilt. Ready to try a tiny exercise that takes under a minute?
Wait, back up. 1 minute? Like, I can do it while I'm pouring cereal, right?
Exactly. Think of the next 6 months. In one sentence, who do you want to be? Not role titles, not tasks, who you are. For example, I lead with calm confidence, so my home and team move forward without me burning out. Say it out loud or jot it down.
Okay. Mine would be, I parent from presence and show up to work with clear boundaries. Writing that, wow, it already changes my brain.
Say more, because that phrase becomes a filter. When a request arrives, you ask, does this align with parent from presence, or does it steal from it? If not, it gets deprioritized. Tiny decision rules like that reduce decision fatigue.
After your one-line CEO statement, pick 3 non-negotiables, things you won't trade off. Mine are sleep, Sunday planning hour, and a weekly partner check-in. Those act like board-level policies for my life. Protect them by calendaring them as if they were investor meetings.
Right. I used to think non-negotiables were rigid prisons. Then I missed one and felt awful. Now I reschedule immediately instead of pretending I'm fine. Feels kinder.
Quick reminder, these commitments are flexible contracts with yourself, not a performance test. Miss it, reschedule, iterate. The aim is fewer reactive emergencies and more intentional days.
Once vision and non-negotiables are clear, systems become protectors of presence. Think of SOPs as tiny rituals that turn repeated decisions into autopilot. I have calendar rituals, 2 deep work mornings, a 30-minute buffer before meetings, and a weekly inbox triage block. Naming them matters.
Yes, my motherhood SOPs are laughably simple. Snack station, bedtime checklist, and a park and play rule for arrivals. Snack station, 1 basket per kid, replenish Sunday. Chaos drops 90%.
And at work, I obsess over onboarding SOPs. A 1-page expectation doc for contractors saved me at least 90 minutes a week. People show up knowing the how, not just the what. Small structure buys time.
Exactly. Micro habits around transitions are underrated. 10 minutes between roles, a breath, refill, step outside. Those tiny cues help your brain switch gears so you're actually present for the next thing. Protect the gaps.
Okay, real talk. Delegation. I used to throw money at help and still feel like nothing was done right.
That's totally fair, but I want to push back a bit. Advice like, train less, trust more, sounds good in a quote, but the real work is in the training and the expectation setting. If you skip that, resentment follows.
I hear you. I was defensive because I feared standard slipping. The pivot for me was scripting exact steps, how to load the dishwasher, what done looks like, then practicing the handoff. That tiny extra effort made delegation feel like strategy, not surrender.
Yes, use a simple matrix. Only you, train and transfer, automate, and drop. Pick 3 items to move off only you this week. Micro-delegation wins over dramatic overhauls.
Give concrete examples. 1 home, 1 work, where delegation felt like oxygen, please.
At home, a neighbor trade. We swapped dinners. No money exchanged. Suddenly, weeknights were calmer. At work, I made a 1-page onboarding SOP for contractors. That 30-minute doc saved me hours later because expectations were clear. Both moves bought presence.
My low-cost wins. A chore chart for my older kid,
trash and table setting in exchange for an extra bedtime story, and grocery subscriptions that cut mental load. No shame in a subscribed pantry. And for listeners thinking delegation requires a budget, it doesn't. Task trades, family meetings, and one 20-minute SOP can change your week. Promise. Try one microdelegate for 2 weeks and notice what shifts.
Emotional delegation matters too. Let someone else soothe a meltdown or lead bedtime. It's harder because it asks for trust. Script the words you'll say. People can meet expectations when you give them language.
I'm going to call out a thing. When help arrives, I used to feel judged. But when I named my standards and walked through them, help became an extension of my values instead of a threat. That switch felt liberating. Love that. Quick recap, without turning into a checklist. A one-line CEO statement plus 3 non-negotiables, simple, repeatable SOPs and calendar rituals that guard your energy, and a delegation matrix with 1 micro-delegate this week. Now, 2 tiny steps you can take in the next 7 days.
Micro step 1. Write your one-line CEO statement and name 1 non-negotiable. Micro step 2. Create 1 SOP that takes under 20 minutes, a morning routine, an email template, or a recipe. Keep it tiny and testable.
Micro step 3. Pick one small thing to delegate. Trade dinner with a neighbor, have your kid take 1 chore, or set up a grocery subscription. Notice how much mental space opens up with just 1 lift.
Reflection prompt for the week. At the end of 7 days, what will be different if you protected 1 non-negotiable? Hold that image. Let it be the test for small choices this week. And our line. Polished in the boardroom, protected in the bonnet. Make it yours. Say it with us. Polished in the boardroom, protected in the bonnet. Feels good, right? Keep it as your tiny decision mantra.
One last thing. Systems are tools for growth, not judgments of where you are. Take small, consistent steps. Compassion and iteration beat perfection every time.
Thank you for sitting with us. If this episode helped, subscribe to Boardroom and Bonnets. It's the best way to grow this community. Leave a review and tell us which microstep you're trying this week. We read and celebrate them. Until next time, stay ambitious, stay authentic, and don't forget the bonnet. Polished in the boardroom, protected in the bonnet. See you next time, friends.
Take care, everyone. Protect your margins. We'll be here doing the same.